Well, welcome to a fun episode of Joe attempts to learn how to play Pathologic with a controller. This is going to be interesting. Okay, let's pause. We've obviously got move and look around, that's fair enough. Got crouch. Got crouch, we've got bring out hands. God, the sensitivity is so... Got jump. Definitely a button we need hotkeyed and definitely use all the time. I'm not... Okay, right trigger is attack. Select brings that up. Apparently I can't do a great deal with a controller, but I can at least do combat with a controller, and I can switch to the mouse for when I need the mouse. Okay, this should be interesting. Interesting to say the least. We did get a letter, so I'm gonna have to switch back to the keyboard for that. Of the bound, fallen, ill, the fallen sanitary precautions are hereby announced. There are citizens, so-called bound, who seem to be extraordinarily involved in town's happenings. They are regularly contacted by people of different lines of occupation and social standing, including your two colleagues. They also try to compensate what they believe to be your inaction with their own efforts. In consideration of that, the executive committee has decided if a bound person falls ill, the door to the home... Okay, it's just telling me. It's just telling me what's going to happen there. Okay, I do need to return to Lara, apparently. A marker's in the crucible. Shit, I have stuff to do. Maybe I shouldn't have slept. Maybe sleeping was a bad decision at this particular juncture, but... The crucible is the Kane's house, from what I recall. I don't know... Put our hands away. I don't know how soon we need to get everything done. Presumably by midnight we'll be fine. And currently it is... hang on, gotta remember the buttons. Shit, hang on. Aye, there we go. 10:15. Not ideal, but we'll get there. We'll be fine. We'll at least get to see Lara. There's a good chance we won't get to do the Mark Immortel quest line. I'm sure I didn't. When I read about how I was doing in that quest before, I'm sure it didn't tell me what to do. Maybe it did. Maybe it did and I just can't read. It's entirely possible. It is going to get very knifey around these streets very, very soon though, so better go fast. As my favourite superhero Sonic the Hedgehog likes to say. Better go quickly. Should be able to go as the crow flies to Lara, that shouldn't be too difficult. I don't think we're getting anything done with Mark though, honestly, at this point. I think we've missed the boat on that one. Which is fine, honestly, like... I didn't 100% every quest in the other two campaigns either. Sure as hell didn't in the Harrispecs. I did alright with the Bachelors, but there was definitely a couple I missed. So, you know, some things we just leave... We leave unsolved on this channel. Some things we leave for the inquiring minds to seek out on their own time, you know? If you're watching this and you want to know how these things go down, then, you know, do it yourself, you lazy fucker. Sorry. We're at Lara's now though, so that's cool. That's cool, we're making progress. Love a bit of progress, mate. We haven't even got knifed on the way. How good is that? Bonjour, madame. Let me through your doorway.
What?
I'm worried. Perhaps it's not too late to fix things yet? I've warned Barack. You did everything right, Clara. Take this gift. It's modest, but it will be useful to you in these difficult times. Thank you. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, stuff. Just twirine and some meat, but you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll call that a win. Actually got a reward for this one as opposed to just having my reputation tanked and nothing. I'm still bitter about that. I'm still mad about what day 3 Changeling does to you. Punishes you for doing the quest. I mean, fuck off, Pathologic. Fuck off now. I know you're a game that defies expectations and tries to do things a little bit differently to conventional gameplay logic, and I get that, I understand that, but oh boy, you can't just kick a guy in the nuts for daring to do what you ask it to do, you know what I mean? It's just rude. It really is. Just unquestionably, unfalteringly rude. Oh fuck, okay. Time to try out our new combat. I pressed load instead of save. I was wondering what was going on there. Right, buddy. Bucko. My stick sensitivity is not making this easy. Good. Good, honestly. I can't actually load with my controller. I can navigate this far, but I have to actually click the button myself. It's definitely not a game made with controller in mind. It's weird that they like added some degree of controller support, but not enough to actually be able to play the game. It's a weird decision, but I guess it's working out for me right now. I like it when they just run towards me and give me free hits on them. I don't like it when they actually start fighting. There we go. Cool. What have you got for me? Yeah, I'll take those. I'll take those happily. Thank you very much. Awfully generous of you, my good man. I feel like if he's gonna be anywhere, he's gonna be with Maria. I don't know why, that just feels like it makes sense to me. And it does. Hi, Mark. Well, hello there. Sorry, I said hi, Mark, and I immediately started remembering The Room, the greatest film ever made. Well, hello there. You must be running an errand for Katerina. She needs a certain something, doesn't she? And I bet she's feeling uneasy. How did you guess? It's written all over your face, but let's get down to business and fight the Huns. Seeing as you have very little time, the walls of this house are pernicious to you, you little imp. What is it then? What's causing your displeasure with me, or say, with the most charming mistress of this hospitable house? Mark Immortelle, I accuse you of heresy and blasphemy because why not? You're the one who brought down the plague upon this town, even though you're definitely not. Now, those are some strong words. You're much too impressionable, my child. Katerina's only dabbling in prophetic rhetoric because it's her last resort, and now she's foreseen the beginning of the end. An ugly trick to pull, and a cheap one, too. Take a professional's word for it. What, are you a priest? Why all the twisted notions? Why are you so hateful? It's only play acting, all of it. Like any game, play acting is a mere shadow of existence, a tiny fragment of it, a semblance. Not a hollow semblance, mind you, quite the contrary, filled to the brim. Play acting is fuller than reality, since it's smaller. You're always play acting, always a mummer. That's why you have this manner of explaining things. Yes, that's what I am indeed, and while we're at it, I ought to explain to you what Katerina's business is with the theatre. It's got nothing to do with these masks of mine, but there is, you see, this creature living down there, an abomination of a spirit, a taunter and a tormentor. We call it the Rat Prophet. This is going to be my quest where I get to finally go into the sewers and talk to the Rat Prophet, but I've probably gone and missed it now, which is a real shame. Well, now you're not making any sense. Yes, the thing is, Katerina's barren. She can't predict the future. That creature can, though, and it visits her at night. Unlike a true mistress, however, it can tell lies, and it's certainly good at telling the right lies. I don't believe you. Go and convince yourself, then. The creature's in there now. Speak these words to the masks, earlobe and eyelid, and they'll let you pass. You better not be lying. Katerina is like a mother to me now, and it does seem to me that you and this filthy monster are plotting together. You got anything to add?
Did you see anything weird on your way here?
Quite a lot, actually. You're not as unsightly as I imagined. On the contrary, you're plain to see. Wow, that's actually a really good singer. You, on the other hand, are not plain at all, but rather pretty. Okay, she's got nothing to add. She just wanted to fucking burn me, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna try and get to the theatre in time in order to see what this is all about. It's probably not gonna happen, but, you know, a man can but attempt. Hang on, I forgot how the map works. Yep, this way. This whole using a controller for most of the game, but flitting over to the keyboard for the occasional button press is honestly just the worst way of playing any video game. And if there's any game other than Pathologic, which honestly is a game that is more just about walking around and reading things than any actual like twitchy gameplay, I would be suffering right now. Thankfully, I think we can make do with this. Honestly, I do think combat somehow feels a little bit nicer with the controller. It's going to take me a little while to get used to it, but I think I can get used to this for sure. What did they say? Earlobe and something? I'm not fighting that guy. I've not got time right now. I think he's going for that woman anyway rather than me, so. From one gate to the other, so daring and brave, a man's life is a path from a cradle to the grave. Earlobe and eyelid mask, let me through. Go on in then. Look at her, not scared at all, the cute little thing. Careful with that talon. Well, hello. What a fine fellow. Greetings, plague dear. Wait just a little bit more. We're almost done embellishing your throne. The very heart of the town shall become the temple of the pest. You'll have the world at your feet soon. I almost said word, but I fixed it. I swerved into the correct actual word at the last minute there. Look at me go. Plague? Me? Well, that is your nature. Well, that's not true. At this time, none other but you could have been the disease personified, the tool for the world to restore the balance with. All this time, there has been no sister. All this time, Clara has been the chasing herself around, confounded by Katerina's visions becoming true. What about Katerina? Did she really start it all for your sake? She needs to chill. That's just such an incredible 21st century terminology for this game, which feels like it's set in like the early to mid 20th century. You know what I mean? Like, I that really caught me off guard. Whatever happens, my favorite person in the town will never be defined by favors. Feel free to come over too, Lady Plague, and tell Katerina to just forget about Mark. He's hopeless. There's no converting him. That will be pointless anyway. You'll crush him yourself in the end. It's all just a game for you. How dare you? In the end, you'll be surprised to find out that everything that you've heard, every single thing, was the honest truth, even the seemingly contradictory things. I'll drop by later for more sage advice. Hang on. Yeah, back to Katerina. We might just make it in time. It would be real cool if we did. Shit. I have to jump up that lip as Clara. She's too small. She's too tiny to just be able to walk directly up it. Okay, interesting. So Clara is, I guess, the personification of the plague. I suppose, according to the rat prophet, whatever that's worth. That's midnight, I think. Oh no, that's 11. We keep going. We'll read that letter later. I don't care what it is. Shit, I've not really gone the fastest way here. Hopefully still make it in time though. Hopefully. I'm just gonna have to run from knife men. I'm not gonna be able to stop and fight them. As much as I'd like to. I'd love to get this quest done though. Definitely slept too early. Definitely put a timer on myself for no good reason here, but should just about be able to overcome regardless. Look at me go. Yeah, I tried not to despite him saying some pretty rude things about me, I tried not to make enemies with the Rat Prophet because I'm hoping to speak to him again, uncover a bit more of the secrets that he carries. I guess it's implied then that Katerina actually isn't a mistress and the rat is in fact the mistress in this case. Which is very odd. It's very odd because obviously mistresses are implied to be women, that rat is implied to be a dude, and also a rat. And also not a head of one of the major families, which seems to be, you know, how mistresses seem to work. So it just sort of breaks everything I know about the whole concept, really.
The town is changing, as if someone is sucking the life out of it.
Oh, the torment. What a torment this is. I talked to Mark as you asked. And so, pray tell, don't keep me waiting. You trust my insight? Do you know that I can read people's souls? Would I entrust you with such things if I didn't? Would I let you rewrite and redraw people's destinies if I didn't trust you, my angel? He's not one to side with either the utopians or the humble. He stands apart. So, why are you looking at me like that? Was this not the most important of what you were going to tell me, was it? Do you know of the Rat Prophet? I sensed something. When you uttered those words, I suddenly felt something familiar, as if something ran its sharp little claws across my back. I mean, telling her the truth has notoriously not worked well for me, but fuck it, I'm going for it. It's the creature that whispers false prophecies to you in your sleep. Well then, thank you, beloved daughter, you've done all you could. For that's who's been visiting me nightly. How frightening. I thought they weren't rats, but kind spirits of the earth. Yes, it is frightening. Oh, I got a reputation for it, at least, so I'll take it. So now Katerina's going to not believe her own prophecies, which is probably going to make things somewhat more difficult. Before dawn, I was lying at the riverbank with my feet under the water. My arms were stretched out and there were handfuls of earth in my grasp. I praised heaven for my salvation and then turned my thoughts to my beloved children, the ones entrusted to me. It was very difficult to reach them, however, so I have no other choice but to take care of the other bound. I took some of them in my ward yesterday, so you need not worry on their behalf. I placed my hands on the shoulders of my bound ones and went after you. I've been searching for you all day long. That was very well worded, well done, Joe. Alas, you have slipped away today, as you always do. My wonderful hands did too much labour today. They won't serve me anymore. Everything will be just fine. I'll see you soon enough, my dear. Implied to be from the sister who we now know doesn't actually exist. Well, I suppose we've always known doesn't actually exist, but now the Rat Prophet has, like, confirmed that, yeah, 'twas me the whole time. We can only assume that Clara has sort of created for herself a multiple personality disorder. Like, she's sort of willed this whole sister thing into being. She lied about it so much that she herself started believing it, and now it's at the point where she's literally sending herself letters. I mean, obviously, again, this is pathologic, so everything that actually happens is entirely capable of not having happened, and nothing is to be believed as it appears, but I'm doing my best, man. And unexpected letters from the powers that be. You didn't expect us to write you a letter, did you? But here goes. You have our attention at last. So would you say you're meant to become a miracle worker? Now that's debatable. We would assume that you were mistaken, but we don't want to disappoint you, and ourselves for that matter, ahead of time. From what we saw of the Bachelor and the Harrispecs, you have yet to cause us anything apart from petty chagrin and the all too predictable, if sometimes elegant, choices. Neither of the two have succeeded in overcoming the inevitable. Such is the law, even though we're sick of it already. Don't be surprised. Did you think the powers that be in the law were always in concordance? We did affect this was the case for a long time, but we would no longer pretend before a heart seeker like you. The truth is we're fed up with the law. The town is precious to us, as you see, so if you succeed in keeping it intact to preserve it just as it is now, this will be, take our word for it, a true miracle. Compared to that, everything you did before is cheap market tricks of dubious value. Such is our well-considered decision. Unsigned. The powers that be, we now know, spoilers, but come on, if you're watching this, you know what happens. The powers that be are children, like little children as well, like 6, 7-year-olds max, right? They're very verbose, aren't they? They've got quite a large lexicon. They write like, not only like an adult, but like an adult with a doctorate, you know what I mean? Like someone doing their best to sound smart. Cough, cough. It's a little off-putting, really. But then again, I guess the powers that be don't actually exist because Pathologic is just a brain fuck, honestly. I believe that's the correct colloquial term. Pathologic is a game that is not afraid to just be like, you know what? Nothing you've done, said, or understood so far actually fucking matters. And I can respect that to a degree. I love a game with a consistent lore. Like, there's been plenty of games and TV shows and God knows what else that have just completely, like, fucked their own continuity, and that always triggers me a little bit. Like, for example, one of my favourite TV shows as a British child of the 90s is Red Dwarf. And that is a show that is very much a comedy first and a sort of sci-fi drama a distant second. So quite often it just doesn't care about its own continuity because it would be funnier not to, or, you know, make for an easier plot contrivance not to, or whatever. And so as much as I love that show, it fucking infuriates me. I think Pathologic is one of the very few pieces of media that can get away with that.
The most pressing endeavours of the day were fulfilled at the expense of several lives of your bound. A mime performance at the theatre will feature today's events.
Oh, Lava got sick. Lava? I just called her Lava. But she got sick, whoever she is. They said several lives of my bound, and I was like, really? Are you sure? Are you sure the, like, multiple people I'm meant to be looking after all got sick at once? I really wish I wasn't walking into a plague district just to fight a guy with a knife. This seems like a really bad decision from anyone's perspective, but fuck it, here we go. Damn. Really hoping I'll be able to kill him before we actually got into proper combat. The old backpedaling and mashing R1 part of the combat. That's the bit I enjoy. The bit where I actually have to, like, dodge the attacks and stuff. That's it's a bit much for me. What is this? Dark Souls? Just imagine there was a really good laugh track after that, because it was such a top tier joke. Let me keep pressing start to open the map, which is absolutely not how you do that. We got a lot of infected areas today, including around the house of my noble hosts and around that of the Olgimpsky Manor. So quite a lot of important areas are going to be cut off. I mean, this in the bottom left doesn't fucking matter. There is literally nothing here, and I can skirt around it quite easily. But yeah, this is not going to be a fun day. Also, apparently, it does include here. This place is not marked on the map as being plagued, but it is very, very clearly plagued. Very clearly plagued. Okay, let's see what the theatre has for me today.
One of them is trying to fight. Who? This one. The other two will try to thwart their efforts, though.
Interesting. Will they fall into the trap?
I wonder. Look what they've turned the theater into.
I hope they know what they're doing. Unavoidably, blood will be shed tomorrow.
Theatre became a morgue. I thought this was a couple days later than this, but I guess not. It's presumably why Mark was out of the office yesterday, because they were prepping this place for all this. What's your stance on this whole business? You got anything to add?
Only knowing our fortune in advance could we predict our conduct.
You're not allowed in here, Clara. You're an imposter and a changeling. Imposter? Changeling? What? Are you going to deny it? I am too. I came here to set everything right. Should it matter to you what I call myself? You're against the rules. I don't want you visiting the theatre. No one can prohibit me from entering.
It's a town of freaks, and they're all doomed anyway.
That's nice. You're bothering me. I want to be left alone. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Big Mark. Big Marky Mark. Okay, what do we do with the evening then? Well, I can answer that question without even asking it. We slap men. We find men to slap. Who wants slapping? Any slappies out there? Anyone feeling like a good slappinating? Anyone want to get slapped up good and proper? Anybody? Any takers? Anyone? Come on, I know someone's into this. Oh. I don't know how I missed this guy, but I was more distracted by the bin, apparently. How are you not dead, dude? How are you not hit, dude? There we go. No, not that one. Yes, that one. It really isn't just like a loot all button or anything. No, I have to manually loot everything. I guess that's fine. I guess that's okay. I can live with it. How are my vitals doing? Health is fine. Immunity could do with going up. Hunger could do with going down. Let's do something about that real quick. Can't do anything about the immunity, actually, but we can eat at least. Thanks for that wonderful stash of meat that Lara gave me today. Speaking of, should I cure her, do you think? Should I do that now, or should I hold on to my supplies and do it all at the end of the game? I feel like that's sort of the easier way of doing it, but I've not seen any evidence thus far that people can get reinfected after you've cured them once. I'm not certain that's a thing that can happen. And if it was, it would be hella mean. But it's very important that I keep all my bound alive, and I'm probably going to need sort of minimum 3, probably more like 5-ish schmauders in order to do that. So I'm hesitant to blow one this early if there's a chance that I might need to get a second one for her, if you know what I mean. But also Lara does seem like a fairly prominent figure in Clara's campaign, so if I don't cure her, then I might be missing out on quests. A lot to think about. A lot to think about. I assume I can miss out on quests. Although I feel like I've done... Knew that would happen. I feel like I've done quests for other people when they've been infected before, and they've just sort of cheated the system and just been there anyway, right? I'm trying to remember a specific example of that, but I can't actually think of one now, so I might just be making that up completely. Dude, you gotta die. I know I'm not hitting you in the face, but it's so much easier to hit him in the body. Headshots are very finicky in this game. Very finicky. You can never really tell exactly where you're swinging at. That was a pretty good little loot pinata there. The guy just burst open and loads of knives and lockpicks came flying out. It was pretty spectacular. Why am I stuck again? I think Clara can get even more stuck than the other two. I might be wrong on that, but I don't remember them having to hop up the step in order to get out of the theatre. Don't remember getting stuck on quite so much geometry either as them. A little bit closer before we do the inevitable. I'm not letting you kill that drunkard. I need to trade with him, possibly. I'll just let you kill me instead. I'm a much easier target. I would like to reiterate, by the way, it is insane how much damage that knife throw does. It is absolutely nuts. The melee swings obviously hurt a fair bit, but like the throw is it's just a one shot, I think. Or maybe you can survive it if you're literally on full health, but right, let's go. Beautiful. Textbook. Textbook, that was. You ain't never seen anyone throw hands like that. Milady? Hey, I don't know if I've got enough water for you, but I'm hoping I do. Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. Easy like. Proper easy like. Be about your business. Should we see what food's costing at the moment? I don't actually need any right this second. I'm just intrigued as to what prices are like today. Fucking. Just fucking. That's all I have to say to that. I mean, they're not cheap. Not like any more expensive than they have been though, so good to know. I might stock up before the end of today then, in case they go up more. Not just yet though. Hey, so unrelated to anything else, but I just want to take a second to address the users of ebay.co.uk specifically. Probably .com and .everything else as well. But the UK site particularly is the one that I've been dealing with quite a lot recently, because I've never made it any secret that I have a weird nostalgic obsession with the Sega Saturn. Mid-90s flop of a games console that had about 200 games, most of which were massively underwhelming. But I had one as a kid, I have a great fondness for it, and I've been sort of... Now that I've got a little bit more money in my pocket than I have previously, I've taken to trying to collect probably not the entire catalogue of the Sega Saturn, but I've been buying a lot of the old retro games, right? What is with people on eBay looking at a thing, being like, okay, right, that's down for 99p, it's worth 60 quid or whatever, rather than wait till the last minute and bid on it then, so that whoever gets it will get it for like a few quid. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start bidding on it a week in advance. And me and some other randomer on the internet are going to keep bidding back and forth, pushing the price up far beyond the 60 quid actual value of the thing. and just ruin the auction and the price for everyone, aside from the seller, obviously. But like, it's like if no one bid on it until the last 5 minutes, then it would just come down to a luck thing. And there's gonna be that flurry of bids in the last 5 minutes anyway, regardless of what happens. So we might as well just try and keep the price down. Why would you bid so far in advance? What's wrong with you? Who's this guy? Are you from an infected area? This place has been quarantined. Here's the rules: 12 hours indoors, regardless of time elapsed since leaving an infected quarter. We mark the time of your entrance. If you see someone inside with signs of illness, knock at once. Do not approach the infected person until they are escorted out by executors. I can select conversation options with my controller at least. I hadn't tried this prior. You don't see me, watchful guard, and my voice is your own fancy. It's coming from within. Oh, this guy's a guard too, is he? Okay. Oh, I was just passing by. Yeah, I mean, the cathedral did get set up as a quarantine on the same day as the theatre got set up as a morgue, so it makes sense that that's happened now. I didn't expect there to be people outside indicating that, but it's nice that the game wants to actually tell me things, you know? I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth, in this case the gift horse being the game giving me any idea of what's going on. Just the smallest little tidbit of information. It's very nice to have. It's not a great deal of stabbing going on this evening, is there? Not a massive amount. God, I have so much stuff for trades. I have so much trade shit right now. I need to find more children. There's not going to be many on the street soon, so I need to take full advantage of it while they still exist, you know? I try not to sleep through too much of day 5 and instead invest as much time as possible, obviously around my quests, just talking to all of the children, specifically the blonde boys in the trench coats and the tiny creepy children. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Everything coming at me from that direction. Let's not go that way. I've decided that was a poor decision on my part. Already forgetting which areas are infected and which ones aren't. It's there, around the Olgimpskis and around the Sabarovs, so really it's impossible to cross town completely without walking through one of the infected districts. Because they sort of form like a diagonal line, you know? A backslash of a infected district. What? Where did you come from? Where the fuck did that come from? I'm nowhere near infected lands, and unless it also aggroed on me when the first one did, and it was just taking longer to path over to me. Possibly, I guess, maybe? Who knows? Who could possibly say it though? Hello. I don't like the unevenness of the terrain I'm going to be fighting this guy on. A lot of ups and downs. Makes it very hard to land hits properly. Also, I haven't... Yeah. I'm not... Oh, I didn't even back... I thought I backed into a wall. It wasn't even that. It was just the game hating my pathing again. Just fighting me to ruin all possibilities of walking from A to B in a smooth line. Do I just need to be jumping constantly? Do I need to be entering like Call of Duty bunny hop style combat? Fuck off, did you hit me? Fuck all off. I've got a new plan. Got a new plan for this. I'm not going back up the stairs this time. Here's how the pros do it. We swerve this way. That wasn't actually a rat noise, that was an ambience noise that sounded like a rat noise. Gets me every time. There we go. Oh, and a knife. Love a knife, me. Do some good trades with a knife. Do some real good trades with a knife. Okay, where now? What am I doing now? What is my existence right now? Not especially fruitful, I'll tell you that much. I guess I'll just walk around and cough. Let's go this way. Why not? Change of pace. Seem to walk the same streets all the time, so we'll embrace the back alleys. It is a bit stinky over this direction, I think. I'm not seeing any stink, though, to be fair. I think the stink's up that way. Can I not get out of here? Huh, guess I can't. Guess I'll go this way instead, then. Just one of many very strange design decisions, like... in real life, you would probably have a gate there. Right? You would imagine. I guess maybe it's private property that I just like walked into someone's back garden, but why would it be fenced off one side but not the other if that was the case, you know what I mean? Okay, so it's stinky over the bridge here as well. So I guess I'll just hang out round here. As I say, I'm very much sort of trapped in this area of the city. I guess I can go through here, but I think it is, even though it's not marked as infected, I think this sort of area is also infected, so I do have to go through it a bit, but then I can use that to get around the bottom here. Yeah, I guess it's just for a change of scenery, we'll head that way. I suppose. I guess. Note my enthusiasm on the subject. I looted this. Definitely looted that. Definitely. Yeah, so if I go along the front of the theatre, we've already established that like it gets a bit gassy round here. But I don't think it actually counts as... oh no, it does count as infected up there. I can see the soiled rags all over the floor. Yep, there's the gas. And some more gas. Gas on gas. Beautiful. Incredible. Just when you think it can't get any gassier, somehow it manages it. I don't know if it's specific to that particular female model, but they always seem so confrontational. They always just like stop like miles away and just stare at you like this. Should be more concerned about who's coming up behind you, mate, to be honest. There's a bit of a threat in the area. Come on then, big boy. Oh no, he is coming for me. Why didn't he throw a knife then? That's weird. Why did he just run at me? I thought he was going after the woman. I'm not complaining, but... like, you learn to expect certain behaviours from NPCs, and when they suddenly break those behaviours, the question becomes, what caused that, you know? Oh, I got 9 knives. Did I just see 9 knives in my inventory? God, playthrough 1 Joe would be so jealous at that amount of knives. Finding knives was like Christmas for playthrough 1 Joe. I had such a good time. Every time I found a knife, it was like, oh, I can sell this and eat today. It was brilliant. Playthrough 2 and 3 Joe, though, we don't care. Haggard veterans at this point. Why is it marked as infected round here? I'm pretty sure it's not. It's black, but black means it's just been infected, right? Black means that the land is healing. You got anything worth having? I mean, I'm not paying 10 for that. I might be able to afford it, but I'm not gonna. Has reminded me I need to trade with guards more, though. I didn't realise I had quite so much tradable material. Come on, then. 7. I mean, they are quite good. They are quite good. What else do I really want to trade for, you know? In fact, Twyrene's worth 2, yeah, so I can get both of those. Thank you. I don't know whether like 3 vegetables probably would have been better than 2 of those. 3 vegetables would have been 15, 2 of those was 14, you know? It's not a lot in it, but might have been the slightly better option, but yeah, I couldn't be bothered finding the correct guard for me, you know? There's useful food available, I'm just gonna take it. It's gonna slip down to the warehouse district to loot the triple bin extravaganza. Quite possibly my favourite part of the whole game is the part where there's 3 bins in one place. I'm a simple man. It doesn't take much, but I mean, look at it. Look at this promised land. Why is it full of rats? Who filled my promised land with rats? Yo! There's another one. These fists don't come down until the rats are drowned. That's what they say. That's a commonly used phrase that everyone says. Don't worry about it. Why? Why? How? You know, once an area is no longer infected, it might be smart to deal with the absolutely unhinged quantity of rats that are just sort of hanging out. I know it doesn't actually spread through rats, this plague. I'm going to save in a second slot just because it's entirely possible that I'm about to save in a position where I can't possibly escape the knife, and then I'll just be stuck in an everlasting eternal loop of loading and dying immediately. So nope, did it just fine. Look at me gaming. Oh! Oh no! Oh, it didn't go fine after all. I lied. It definitely did not go fine. I know I can survive this just by running to the left though, so that's something. After that is where this whole fight gets a little bit more interesting, because there's a rat that's about to turn around and come straight at me. And also a guard that's about to get involved in a less than ideal sort of whole setup. You know what, I think we'll just deal with this next time. That's been the episode. I'll see you next time. Bye.